Hey guys, this is Alison and we're here to bring you Pretty Little Liars Catching Up. So let's get started. Alright, so for those of you who may not remember my story, or you just don't know it, my name is Alison like I said, and I'm 16 years old. And this story really picked up about 2 years ago for all of us, and it was a big climax in my life in regards to, everything that's gone down. But I think that I'm finally ready to share. 2 years ago is the infamous event that changed not only my life, but the lives of my 4 best friends, Hanna, Aria, Emily, and Spencer. And that event was my disappearance. Everyone in town refers to it as Alison's disappearance, or Allie's disappearance, or the Alison De Laurentiis disappearance, because that's just pretty much what happened. I mean, I disappeared. But that night will forever live on in infamy, and there won't ever be a day where people won't be talking about it. While I don't know that I feel 100% comfortable telling you all the details, since that's kind of supposed to come out down the road, I will tell you the basics. It was September 1st of 2013, and I was having a sleepover with my 4 best friends, and that night was the night that I was supposed to die. I had been the first out of the 5 of us to be tormented by an unknown anonymous text messenger that goes by the initial of A, which also happens to be my initial. We do not know who A is, and we don't really have any idea as to why A is doing what they're doing. But I'd like to believe that A started doing what they're doing because of me. Because I wasn't always the nicest girl. Having to go missing and go in hiding and run away and, just live having everything you've ever known taken away from me, it was literally one of the most difficult things I've ever had to experience. And it's just something I don't like to talk about because it's really hard for me. But for interview purposes, I kind of have no choice. I went into hiding after the girl in the hole was buried that night. Do you know who the girl in the hole was? I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that. Okay. After she was buried and she was dead, I had no choice but to go. Because if they knew they killed the wrong girl, it would be catastrophic for everyone. So I ran. Where did you live in your time on the run? I lived in Brookhaven, which is a town about 15 minutes from Rosewood. And for those of you who don't know, Rosewood is our hometown. Okay. How long did you stay there? I had an apartment there. I still have an apartment there. But I mean, I moved. I mean, it wasn't just, me staying there. I stayed there some of the time. But I also spent time in Ravenswood, which is a town about 2 hours from Rosewood. And I also spent most of my time in town running around and making sure that my girls were okay. So you ran around after you're supposed to be dead, and you spied on your friends. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. They all had no idea, of course. Do you have any idea who you think A might be? Jeez, that's a really difficult one. I'm honestly stumped. I don't know who this person is. I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know why they are torturing us. I just honestly, I've been so flabbergasted over the entire thing. And I've been trying for so long to try to figure out who this person is. And I've just been completely and totally unsuccessful in all my attempts. And so, whoever it is has really, really gotten the disguise down pat. I really have no idea. I have seen this person face to face. You have. Yeah, I have. And I have not seen their face. And every time I have seen this person face to face, they look completely, totally different in size and shape. Not that I can really use that for guidance. We just know there's a team. There's a team of people out there to get us. And, long story short, it's my fault. So, why do you think it's your fault? Because I wasn't nice. I have made way too many enemies in my reign as Rosewood's Queen Bee, and that's kind of what I get. It's kind of karma, you know what I mean? I mean to others, and it just comes right back to bite you in the ass. So that's what happens when you're mean. Just expect it to come back. Anything else you'd like to add from your story? I mean, you're gonna learn more about this as the season goes on, as all the seasons go on. I mean, it's hard for me to talk about, and I mean, it's not exactly something that I'd like to discuss in terms of that night and me having to be on the run all alone and all that, but it's been hard, and you'll learn everything sooner or later. Because, you know, two can only keep a secret if one of them is dead. Hello, Spencer. Hi! How are you? I'm okay. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. So, Spencer, it is so nice to see you back. Thank you. We're all glad to be back here. It's really an honor, thank you. Of course. So, Spencer, what is new in your life? What's going on in Spencer Hastings' universe? Well, Alison has come back from the dead. So we're kind of picking up from that place where Alison's been gone for 2 years. And, it's been 2 years since the night of the disappearance. And it's been 1 year since the body was found in her backyard and she was pronounced dead. How did that make you feel when she was pronounced dead? This is gonna sound really bad, but honestly, I was relieved. I was relieved because, you know, Alison, back in those days when we were friends, there were two sides to Alison, and one of them was when she was compassionate, and when she was nice, and when she made the world a completely and totally better place, and it was just unbelievable, and it was amazing to be a part of, and she made you feel like you were part of something special, and you never wanted to leave. And then there was the darker side of Alison, and she would gather all of, you know, your deepest, darkest secrets, and when she wanted something from you, she would go around and turn right around and throw the knife and stab you right in the back. And she'd use your very, very personal, deep, dark secrets against you. And she would have no remorse about it at all. And, she had something on me, and she had been pressuring me, and I had already cracked on that night. When we found out she was gone, it relieved me. So it relieved you. Yes. What did you think when you first saw the A message go in the first time? Wow. Alright, so my first A experience was, I was in my room. Alison's body had basically just been discovered maybe a day or two before. I was in my room, and it was nighttime. And for those of you who don't know, my house is right next door to Alison's. So I was in my room, and it had been a year since she was gone, but only a couple days since her body had been found. She was proclaimed dead or whatever. And so I was in my room, you know, studying and chilling and, you know, just relaxing, getting ready for bed. And I had went to look out my window. And as I was heading over there, I heard a ping from my laptop. So I went over and I looked, and I got an email. And I don't remember exactly what it said, because, you know, we've been through so much during the time since then, but it said something that kind of put me on edge, and it was signed with this A, and I was like, what is this? And I kind of crept over the window, and I looked out, and Alison's bedroom window faced mine, so it was kind of one of those things where we were next door neighbors. My window looked outside and faced her window to her bedroom, and then her window faced mine. And I looked out, and then I saw a flash of blonde hair in her window, and I was like, oh my God, Alison? So when you thought you saw Alison, how did they make you feel? I was shocked, and I was kind of freaked out, because, you know, her body was technically found like a couple days before, so she was supposed to be dead, and yet, like, I'm seeing things, and I'm just like, okay, stay calm. It's probably just sleep deprivation, or someone's trying to mess with you. And after that, I pretty much I climbed into bed, and I went to sleep. I was like, I need to sleep. I need to sleep this away. This is just me being extremely exhausted, so I went and crashed. And you didn't think of anything of it? No. Did you ever think that it might have actually been Alison? No. Not until we actually had suspicions that she might be alive and not dead. That's when I kind of looked back and I was like, oh my God, what if that was her in her bedroom that night? And you know, I never really got that answer from her. So I'm gonna guess it's something I'm gonna have to ask. But it definitely was. It was something that I will always remember for the rest of my life. So you've been threatened, yes, and you've been tortured by this anonymous A. Mm-hmm. Do you have any idea who this A person is? Do you have any guesses? We had thought in the beginning it was Alison, but then her body was kind of found, so that was kind of squashed. And now that she's alive, it's kind of like, well, was it Alison? Because, I mean, these were things that only she knew. But at the same time, she has had to run away, and she's had to go in hiding or whatever. And I've seen her since she's come back, and since we found her, I've seen her genuinely terrified, and that's just not something that you can fake. So that's when I was kind of like thinking, okay, maybe it isn't Alison after all. But I mean, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know who I can trust. I just know I can trust Hanna and Aria and Emily, but I'm not 100% sure that I can trust Alison. And I'm not so sure I can say that the others trust her either, but I'm not so sure I can say that they don't. So, I mean, I'll let them speak on their own behalf, but I don't know that I trust Alison. I don't know that I'll ever trust Alison after everything that we've been through as friends and frenemies, and I just don't think I could do that. So what's going on in your personal life besides and besides Alison coming back? What's going on with you? Well, I'm dating a guy. His name's Toby Kavanaugh. Okay. How old is he? He's 18. I'm 17. Sorry, I kind of didn't put that out there. He's a great guy. He does carpenter work, and he's just great. He's so great. I'm so happy and so in love with him. So I'm very happy. So how close are you with your friends? And which friend would you say is the closest to you? My friends are doing good. Jeez, which one's the closest to me? Jeez. I want to say either Hanna or Aria. I think maybe Hanna. I'd say Hanna. Hanna's the closest to you. Why? I don't know. I mean, we're constantly just, like, grouping up, going for coffee, and she's hilarious. She always has something funny to say. She's always clipping jokes, and I don't know. I mean, it's just something about her and me that just, like, click, and we always work well together, and Aria and Emily have always been on the closer side, and Hanna and Emily are also really close, and Hanna and Aria are really close. Like, we're all really close with each other. I'm also really close to Emily. So yeah, I mean, it's we all have individual relationships with each other, and we're all really, really close to each other, but we're also really, really close as a group. So I don't know that I could pick somebody, but I mean, I guess if I had to, I'd say Hanna. That's nice. Anything else you'd like to add, Spencer? Any feelings on anything? I don't think so. Oh, really interesting question. What do you think about the quote that Alison likes to say, "To keep a secret, one of them is dead"? It's bullshit. Hello, Emily Fields. Hi, it's so great to see you. Good to see you too. How are you doing? I'm okay. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Great. So, Emily, how are you doing with Alison's coming back? Oh God, I knew that was gonna be the first question. I'm good. I'm really good. I missed her, and I'm so glad to have her back. And it's really been a changing experience for all of us. It's definitely been an adjustment, and I feel that we're all shocked to different degrees. We're all dealing with our own personal issues with it to different degrees, and I know for one that I'm really glad to have her back. I missed her to pieces. We all know that Alison's like the world to me, and so I'm just relieved and so happy to have her back and to know that she's okay. So Emily, regarding that, do you still have feelings for her? Oh boy, I knew that was going to be the second question too. Oh boy. Do I? I guess I can't answer that. I mean, I only have certain things that I can say answers to. So I don't know. It's hard. It's definitely hard for me. Especially knowing what I know now in regards to her and her love life. So it's been hard. But I mean, I can't answer that. That's something that the season will have to answer for you. How do you think your friends are dealing with the news that Alison's back? Like I said, it's all been varying. We all have our own degrees of shock and surprise and our own, like, interior problems that we're battling with are kind of, left unsolved with her. And for me, it's obviously the prospect of me having had or maybe still having feelings for her. And then Spencer, obviously has her own issues with her, and then Hanna had her, fair share of problems with Alison, and Aria Aria's kind of, well, okay, she has her issues with her and her family, but, you know, it's just, you know, it's been something that we're all kind of struggling with, and Alison being back is something that's a life changer for all of us. And now we've kind of got, like, that important piece of the puzzle that I feel we need to kind of maybe be A. And Alison has a lot of information that we don't know answers to or anything about. And so I really, really feel that she can possibly help us in our quest to stop A. And, I mean, we really haven't had a chance to talk about it, so that time will come, but I really feel that Alison is the missing piece of the puzzle that we need to get rid of A once for all, you know? So, Emily, are you dating anyone these days? Okay. I knew that was going to come too. I feel... Okay, Maya is dead. And, losing Maya had to have been one of the hardest things for me. And, you know, just like with Alison, I've had, you know, unsolved feelings and unsolved, you know, issues and feelings and all that I've never been able to fix, and I never will be able to fix. And, it's been really hard mourning her. How long has she been gone? It's been a few months. 4 months. I'm really sorry. Thank you. But I mean, with Alison coming back, it's just kind of, in a way, giving me hope. I think maybe I have a chance for her to come back, okay? But, I mean, it's really naive. I don't even know how Alison's here. And alive. They found a body. I mean, if she's alive, then whose body's in the hole? That's a very good question. That's one that I wanted to have answered. Do you have any ideas or any guesses? No ideas. And, I don't even know. I don't even know. Because, I mean, no one in town besides Alison vanished on that night. And obviously someone died. It wasn't her. So, maybe someone outside of town kind of came in and accidentally got killed in Alison's place. Was kind of at the wrong place at the wrong time, kind of. I don't know. I guess we'll find out eventually, because Alison can't keep this a secret forever. It's something that we all deserve to know. So I hope that she tells us. I really hope so. So Emily, is there anything regarding A that you'd like to discuss? What was your first encounter with A? I was at swimming practice. I'm a swimmer, for those of you who didn't know. And I was at swim practice, and I just finished up my swimming for the day, so I went to my locker. And I went in, and Spencer had been field hockey practice that day, so she had actually come in locker room at the same time I did. And when I opened my locker, and I saw this, like, piece of paper, like notebook paper, and I took it out, and I opened it, and there was the note, and I can't exactly remember what it was. I don't remember what it said, to be completely honest. Oh, you know what it was? It was something about finding a new friend to kiss. And then it was signed with A, and I was like, what the hell is this? I was so taken aback. I was so confused. I didn't know who this person was or what they were doing. I didn't know if it was, like, you know, kind of like a prank kind of thing, or if it was something more, and obviously it turned out to be something more than a prank. But at the time, I was kind of confused as to who it could be, why they were doing it. And, I mean, I knew that the only real person who had known about me kissing Alison was Alison. So that's when I was kind of like, okay, is Alison here? Is Alison back? Is she trying to tell us somehow that she's alive? And I mean, okay, and of course, like, it's signed with A, which is also the initial of Alison, so, I was really confused, and I didn't really know what it meant. So, I don't know. I mean, it was really complicated, and obviously shortly after that, her body was found, so it was kind of just like, wow, okay. Maybe it wasn't Alison, because it couldn't have been. So, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't even know. And obviously, it's completely and totally blown up in terms of, what's happened, how much has happened, what the intensity of what they've been telling us, and it's all just become such a big mess, and they think it's all a game, which just is so sickening to all of us. It's awful. And now to have Alison back, it just really, really makes you want to think, because it's just like, well, if Alison's here, then who's there? What actually did happen? There's so many questions that we haven't had answered, and now with Alison being here, it's kind of the chance to have our questions answered. Emily, what do you think of Alison's, catchphrase? Two can keep a secret if one of them is dead. I think it holds meaning. I know Spencer thinks it's bullshit and it's completely ridiculous, but I think it holds meaning. I don't know what kind of meaning it means. I mean, maybe she was saying it because she knew she was going to die or something. I don't know. Maybe she just kind of wanted to warn us somehow. Maybe it was some sort of, cryptic warning. Alison's known for crypticity. So, I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. I can tell you. Ask her. Ask her what it means. Hanna Marin, it's so great to see you. Oh my god, hi! I am so thrilled to be here and back, and it's just been a roller coaster, so how you doing? I'm great, Hanna. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. So, Hanna, how have you been? What's been up in Hanna Marin's world? Well, I'm dating this awesome guy, and his name's Caleb Rivers, and I love him so much. I'm 17 now, and he's 18, and I'm just so in love with him. He's so amazing, and it's been great. It's been really great. So how do you think your friends are doing with the return of Alison? I think that we are all doing... We're a bit shocked. I'm not gonna lie, we're a bit shocked. I mean, obviously we thought she was dead for a year, and she was missing for a year before that, so it was kind of one of those things where we thought she was gone, and it turns out she wasn't. So it's definitely one of those things we're gonna have to adjust to. I think of all of us who's having the worst time, I think it would be either Spencer or Emily. Spencer obviously has her own issues with Alison, and she kind of isn't too happy about the fact that she's back. And then Emily, we all kind of know Emily's problem. So I will literally crush Alison if she decides to hurt Emily. I will crush her. So how do you think you're doing? With Alison? Mm-hmm. I think I'm okay. I mean, I'm changed now. I'm not the person I was when she was, last here. Or even while, she was away. Before we found out she was missing. I'm not any longer, in practice of my former eating habits. And I'm well. I'm well, I'm skinny, I'm fabulous. So, that's all that really matters to me. If Alison wants to come back in, I'm a bit more okay with that than I was, because at least she won't be able to, make comments about how fat I used to be. And, so yeah, I mean, granted, I still have issues with her in regards to that, since she's the one who turned me on to bulimia in the first place, but I'm okay. And compared to the others, I'm okay. How do you think Aria's doing? I think Aria's okay. I mean, granted, she has some issues with her in terms of what she did with her father or whatever, but I think she's okay. Aria's okay. I think she got most of that answered, to be honest. She never really was too in the dark in terms of that. So I think it's okay. I think Aria's fine. I think it's more Spencer and Emily who are having the major problem. And actually, I kind of almost think that Alison's having her own adjustment issues herself, you know? She's been gone for so long. And I would assume that she would have wanted to come home, but I just don't see it as something that she would have expected to ever been able to happen. And so, I think she's kind of having her own issues in terms of coming back and having to be resettled with her parents, and with her brother, and, you know, with all of us, and it's a big change, and she's missed a lot while she's been gone, and I don't really know the detail of how much, she's missed, or seen, or known about, or whatever, but I would think she's known about everything, and I think that's why she's here, because she's known about everything. So what is going to happen when you pick up next season? Next season is pretty much going to pick up right when Alison gets thrown back into our lives, and we're gonna all be like, oh my god, you're alive, all that lovely stuff, and there's gonna be a sit down, and I can't really go much more into detail than that. We're just gonna be a sit down, and we're gonna talk about everything. And, she may or may not answer some questions. That's all I can say. Do you think she'll answer some questions, Hanna? Maybe a couple, but most certainly not even close to all of them. We've had so many questions over the years as to, first of all, personal things that she's left off with us, and then second of all, just, you know, questions about A, and who she thinks it is, and all that other stuff. It's all going to be really interesting to have that finally answered for us. And hopefully we get some closure. Because we deserve it, after all the hell we've been put through. So, is there anything interesting that you feel has happened that A has done to you, that has kind of stood out to you? I think the thing that really bothered me the most in terms of something that A's done that I can think of right now, it's actually the first time that A ever messaged me that kind of really, really scared me. And of course it's gotten worse and worse, and everything I'm seeing now is scaring me too, but like that first moment had to be kind of the oh my god moment for me. And I had just gotten arrested for shoplifting. And I was waiting in the police waiting room, I guess I better call it. And I was about to eat a handful of M&Ms that they had sitting on the table next to me for, like, you know, people who are waiting. And my phone rang, and I dumped the M&Ms, and I looked at it. And I remember exactly what it said, and most of the people don't remember what theirs said, but I actually remember mine, because it scared me that much. And it said, "Careful, Hanna, prison food makes you fat, A." And I was just like, who the hell is this bitch? What was running through your mind? Well, first of all, Alison was the only one at that point who had really known about my actual eating disorder, so I was at first like, is this Alison playing a trick on us? Is this all like a gigantic joke to her? Like, what happened at Noel Khan's Halloween party? What happened at Noel Khan's Halloween party? Well, she kind of went off in the middle of the party, and she kind of vanished, and we're all like, where'd Alison go? And sure enough, we got a call from her, and it said that she was in this haunted house that we had passed earlier in the day or whatever, and that she was being held captive in the bedroom, one of the bedrooms or whatever, and to come save her. And we were all just like, oh my god, this is oh my god, this can't be happening right now. Da-da-da. We all left the party and went to the house, and we went in, and we found Alison in the bedroom, and she was totally creeped out, okay? She was terrified, she was creeped out, it was scary to see, actually, and she looked beyond terrified. And so we were like, well, what happened? Like, why did we even come here? And she kind of dodged those questions, and she was like, I don't know, but we have to get out of here, and da-da-da-da. And she said, well, I'm gonna go downstairs and try to get help. Because at that point, we were all kind of stuck there, because supposedly because we had all known at that point there's somebody in the house with us. And so then Alison we were all like, okay, be careful or whatever. And she said, lock the door. Don't even come out if you hear me scream. And then, so, she went out, and we shut the door and we locked it behind her. And, sure enough, we heard her scream. And we were just like, oh my God, Alison! We were trying to get out, and the door was jammed or locked or something. We couldn't get out. We had been locked in. And so Aria was looking through the keyhole in the door, because this is like an old house, so we could like see, and she could see Alison dodging this attacker with this gigantic butcher's knife, and so then we all kind of like escaped through the window, and we ran back around and ran in the front, and we're all screaming for Alison, and sure enough, we like run through the front door, and then we hear this like really eerie creaking noise, and we look over, and she was sitting in the rocking chair with the giant butcher's knife in her hand, and she was like, well done. And we're just like standing there like with our jaws dropped, like, what do you mean well done? And she's like, you passed my test. And we're all just like, are you fucking kidding me? Is this a sick joke? And apparently it wasn't, because no, it's Alison, and she's like, happy Halloween. Now I know that if I ever need you guys, I can count on you. And we were all just like, just standing there with their jaws dropped, like, are you kidding me right now? We were all so furious with her after that, and then we left. And she kind of followed us. Oh, wait, no. What happened was, she stood up and she's like, why are you guys acting so, like, upset or whatever? And we're all just like, is this even a question? And she kind of walked up to us and she's like, come on, you guys. Stop being such babies. And we're all just like, what? And so, yeah, I remember it was horrible. We were all terrified, and it was all some sick joke. How'd that make you feel? Awful. It was so scary, okay? Like, we seriously thought that, like, someone was trying to hurt her. It was all some joke to her. And so, yeah, when we saw the messages, we were all kind of like, is this some joke that Alison's trying to play? Is this some kind of game to her? Because she loves games. She loves playing jokes. And it was kind of one of those things that we were kind of unsure about. We were kind of thinking, well, maybe Alison was behind it. And then they found the body, and that didn't happen. One last thing. Shoot. What do you think of Alison's catchphrase, two can keep a secret if one of them is dead? I don't know. I think it's kind of stupid. I think it's ridiculous. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's ridiculous. Okay, I agree with Spencer. It's bullshit. It's ridiculous. Ugh. It's ridiculous. Done. Last but certainly not least is Miss Aria Montgomery. Hi. Hello, Aria. How are you doing? I'm okay. Thank you. How are you? I'm all right. So, what do you think about Alison being back? I'm shocked. To say the least, I'm shocked. But I'm happy. I'm happy she's okay and she's alive and she's, she's fine. But I still have so many questions for her that I hope for her to answer. And, I really, really feel that, she can maybe answer some questions for us and try to give us some closure. We deserve that much after all that we've been through, especially with her. How do you think everyone is handling the fact that Alison's back? Well, I kind of think that, Emily is having a really hard time with, Alison being back and it all being this gigantic shock to her and a gigantic, whoa moment. I mean, Alison was supposed to be dead. We all thought she was gone, for real. And then all of a sudden she's just back. And she's alive. And we're all shocked. And that's actually where we pick up this next coming season, we're all shocked. Alison's standing there alive in front of our faces, and we're all just like, oh my god. Like, this is the real deal. And she's alive, and she's here, she's alive. Like, it's a big deal. And so we all sit down and kind of talk. It literally is like one of those life-changing moments for everybody. And I'm flabbergasted that this is my life. It's like a Lifetime movie, but it's not. It's real. Who do you think's having the worst time? Emily. Spencer's just having a hard time too, but Emily's having the worst time. Absolutely. Why? I mean, come on. She's loved Alison for like forever. And I'm pretty sure she still does have feelings for her. She's never really opened up as if she still doesn't have, but I'm pretty sure she still does. And so, and she's back, and her first love's back, and so it's hard to grasp. It's really just like, wow. Which one of you do you think is closest to Alison? Emily. Emily's always been the closest to Alison, and so her death really hit her the hardest. We were all really close to her, but I think that Emily had to have been the closest. I think it's definitely Emily. Emily was hit the hardest. She's having the hardest time with her being back, and she was definitely the closest to Alison. Emily. All around Emily. What are you doing in your personal life right now? What's going on with Aria? What's going on with Aria? Well, this is going to come as a shock to everybody, but, I'm a mom. You're a mom. I'm a mom. So, I've got a daughter, and she's 2. And how old are you? I'm 17. 17. Mm-hmm. She's going to be 2 very, very soon. So, it's a big deal. And what's her name? Lily. Her full name is Lillian Jean Montgomery, but, we call her Lily for short. Who's her father? Do you know who the father is? Yes, but that's kind of something that I kind of can't tell you right now. I have to keep it secret. Sorry. What do your friends think about you with the baby? Well, first of all, the only person who knew the baby existed for the longest time was actually Alison. Really? Mm-hmm. Alison was there with me when I found out I was pregnant, and she was actually the one who suggested I take a test. Does she know who the father is? Yes. Alison does know who the father is, but she has kept it a secret from me, and so for that, I'm forever grateful. Wow. Mm-hmm. So when did you find out you were pregnant? It was actually the day before her disappearance. Wow. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal. Mm-hmm. So it's chaos. Lily was born in May, and it's April right now in Rosewood. So it's a big deal to have that. And I mean, I was a teen mom, and I had to deal with having Lily in high school, and it's been a roller coaster, absolutely. And me being the teen mom of the group, I mean, if you ask everybody, I think they would all agree that I would be the one to have gotten knocked up. But if Alison was included, then they would have said Alison. Just because, she was always talking about older boys, and she was always more advanced than us, so she was always just like, yeah, it would have been Alison. But if it was not between Alison, they would have said me. Do a poll at the end. I think they would really, really have a kick out of that one. Do a poll. See which one everyone thinks about who would be a teen mom. With or without Allie included. Ask them both. We will. So, Aria, yeah. You'll tell us who the father is. You'll find out in the season. Probably pretty early in the season, too. It won't stay a secret forever. Are you with the father right now? Oh, boy. No. I'm not with the dad right now. Who are you with? Oh, geez. I probably almost shouldn't say. Shouldn't say. Yeah, I shouldn't say, just because, you know, if I tell you who I'm with, then it kind of eliminates him as the father, because who I'm with right now is not the father of my child. So I'll be mum on that for now. I'm kind of supposed to keep quiet on a lot of the personal things in my life, but I'm allowed to talk about Lily. I just can't talk about her father or who I'm dating right now. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. So tell us about your family, Aria. My family? Yeah, well, you know, we already know Spencer has Melissa's sister. And then Hannah and Emily are single, only children. Yeah, except for Kate. Yeah. Hannah's stepsister. So then what about you? Me. Well, I have an older brother named Mike. And, he's, you know, Jason and Melissa and their age. They're all 22. Then I've got a younger brother, and his name's Jagger, and he's a year younger than me, so he's 16. Yeah. So how are your parents? Oh, God, my parents. They're in the process of splitting up. They're not split up yet, but they're definitely arguing, and I definitely think that's gonna lead to them splitting up. So it's gonna be nice, you know, when it actually finally happens. Was your mom mad at you when she found out that you were keeping your father's secret? More mad at him than at me for making me keep that secret, and that's totally understandable, considering no parent should ever make their child do that. And Alison did tell my mother, and I didn't listen. That's my own fault that I kind of got myself in that situation. So, Alison, while she hasn't always been, you know, the most sincere, and sometimes it seems like she might have ulterior motives, and let's face it, sometimes she has had ulterior motives to saying things to people and making people do things. I think that point in time, when she told me to tell my mother before my father talked me out of it, was definitely one of the moments where she was being sincere. And of course I didn't like to hear what she had to say when she was saying it, and it did get more sinister and a bit less sincere as time went on, but the entire thing was right, and I should have told my mother. So score one for Alison right there. I should have done what she did. So that's my own fault for not listening to her. So your parents are splitting up. You have two brothers. Yep. You got a daughter and a boyfriend. Boyfriend's not the baby daddy. Yep. And, what else? What else? Is your dad seeing Meredith? I don't know that he is, to be honest. I don't think he is right now. But, I mean, I bet you when my parents finally decide to split up, then he's gonna run back to her. It's not gonna be a question. Who do you think will stay in the house with you guys? My mother. You think so? Yeah. Because before, when they first split up, it was your father who stayed in the house with you. Yes, but, you know, I think my mom's gonna end up being the one to stay. She's gonna kick him to the curb. So yeah. Is your mother seeing anyone? No. No, not that I'm aware of. I don't think so. But again, when they finally split up, then maybe she'll get her butt back out there. Hot Mama likes to tango. Yeah, that was the better creation of Hannah and I. Hot Mama likes to tango. Maybe I'll pull that back up and get it started again, because my parents are a mess. And, let's see, anything else? Not that I know of. No. Alrighty, well, one last thing, Miss Aria, before we all go. Okay. Oh, wait! I never asked you about your favorite, or I guess most horrifying A moment. Oh, my most horrifying A moment. That, well, first of all, the whole A thing started back up when I got back from Iceland. which was also around the time when Alison's body was discovered. Right. So, clearly it wasn't her body. Do you have any idea who A is? Any guesses you want to make? No, I really am clueless. I don't know. I really have no idea. I think if anyone has the best idea, it would either be Alison or Spencer. I don't know if Hannah and Emily have any ideas or made any good guesses, but I would say that Alison and Spencer, probably Alison would have the best idea. So I really have no idea. I don't know who it could be. Do you think it'll be someone who will shock you? Yeah, definitely. Do you think that it's Alison's fault for you being tortured? Maybe. I'm not saying I will blame Alison for it, since she has been through a lot herself, but I definitely think that it would have been less likely for us to be targeted if we had been nicer to people, like Spencer and I have been trying to get her to do, and that didn't happen. So, I want to say that that's partially the problem, but I don't think that that's it. I think that the person who's doing this also has some issues, psychologically. That's kind of also making this the way it is. So, yeah. What's your least favorite Abe moment? Your scariest Abe moment? When I came back from Iceland, obviously when I came back from Iceland, I already had my daughter. The first thing that I had been told when we were coming back was, I was being forced to have my daughter, treated like my little sister. She was supposed to be portrayed as my mom's baby. Wow. It was really hard. And there were moments when she would cry, and she wouldn't stop crying for my mother, so then I'd kind of have to go over, and everyone always kind of be like, well, why are you spending so much time with your sister? Why are you always babysitting? Why are you dragging her around everywhere? Why did she stop crying only for you and not for your parents? So, I kind of had, some bullets I had to dodge. But my scariest moment had to have been when it was shortly after I came back, and I remember I had taken Lily to the park, to play, even though she wasn't really playing yet, because she was still really little, but I had taken her to the park, and I got an A message, and, it kind of was known that Lily was my daughter and not my sister, so I was terrified. They were threatening to spill. I was totally terrified when they acknowledged her as my daughter and not my sister. That's probably the scariest moment of my life. And it still is the scariest moment of my life. I'm terrified that they're going to do something to hurt her. And, it's horrifying to think that they would touch my daughter. So, that had to be the scariest moment. I'd be scared too if I were you. Yeah. And one last thing. What do you think of Alison's quote, "Two can keep a secret if one of them is dead"? I think that it has meaning. I don't know what meaning it may hold, but I think it has meaning. I know we're all kind of split up on the feelings regarding that, but I definitely think that it holds some sort of meaning, and I think that we'll find that out at some point. I hope we do. Because Alison uses that a lot. Way too much for it to be enough. Pull time! Pull time? What's the word pull time? Emily, if Aria wasn't the one who had a baby, who do you think it would have been? Who would have gotten pregnant first? Who would have had a baby first if it wasn't Aria? Alison is also included. Alison. Absolutely. And if Alison wasn't included? Aria. I mean, look what happened. Aria's the one who had the baby, so Aria. Hanna, if Aria didn't have the baby, which one of you do you think would have gotten knocked up first and had a baby first? Alison is also included. Alison, absolutely. And if Alison isn't included, if she was still dead? Me. You? Yeah, me. I mean, obviously Aria got knocked up first, and I definitely would say Aria too, but I think there was a chance that I would have gotten knocked up too. You? Me. Spencer! Yes, poll time! There's a poll. If Aria hadn't been the one to get knocked up and have a baby first, which one of you, Alison included, Alison would have been the first. Absolutely. And I honestly kind of have some feelings that maybe she did have a baby. Or at least had gotten pregnant at one point. Absolutely! Alison! And if Alison wasn't included, Aria or Hanna. And obviously Aria is the one who ended up having the baby, so Aria is probably the better choice. But I honestly think that Hanna could have gotten pregnant too, to be honest. So, Hanna. Pull time! What? Wait. Pull time? Alison, if Aria hadn't been the one to get pregnant and have a baby, if there was someone else to have done that, you included, okay, who do you think would have had the baby? Who would have gotten pregnant and had a baby first? You're included. Maybe Hanna? I don't know. I definitely think Hanna had the most potential to get pregnant. Absolutely. Everyone else said you. Okay. Alright, well. Okay. Do you have any feelings on that? I mean, it's understandable. I always talked about older boys all the time that I was possibly seeing someone. So, yeah, I can totally see the conceived notion that they thought that I might have been pregnant or I could have gotten pregnant. Absolutely. I totally see that as a possibility. And, maybe it was. What are you saying? I can't say anymore. Maybe it was. Maybe it could have been a possibility. That's all I'm saying. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited! And one last thing, Alison. Of course. I've been asking everyone all day what the meaning of your favorite quote to keep a secret if one of them is dead is. Or if it has meaning, what they feel about it. Is there any real meaning to that quote? And if there is, what is it? Well, there is. And Alison. One last thing. Shoot. We've been asking your cast members and best friends all day, oh God, what the possible meaning is behind your favorite catchphrase, two can keep a secret if one of them is dead. Oh, wow. So is there a meaning behind that, or do you just like to say it? There's absolutely a meaning. But I don't think I can say what it is. Come on, Alison. No, seriously, I'm not allowed. You'll learn in the season what that means, but I seriously can't tell you right now. I'm so sorry, but there is definite meaning behind it. I mean, I wrote it, because I thought I was gonna die, and I did it, but I just can't tell you what it ended up being. It was one thing, and then it turned into something else. Ooh, that's all I can say. I can't say anymore, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for watching Pretty Little Liars Catching Up, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
'Cause two can keep a secret if one of them is dead.